let me mention that next week, as you know, is the weekend of Baba's birthday, and my thought was to, since there's so many things that you can be a part of, both in India or in your local area or through the babazoom.net, that I thought we'd cancel uh, this next week, and also the effort and grace. I forgot to mention it about the effort and grace, but Angela she knows what to do as far as posting it. So, anyway, I just wanted to, uh, in a little bit, Jacima hopefully will be able to post um, the email. But I wanted to say that, I've been here at the center for years and years, and, hundreds and hundreds of people, Baba people, have come through here. And I am so amazed that after many years, some 60 years, some 50 years with Baba, some 10 years with Baba, they wake up and they remember Baba, and they just, determine, how am I going to live for Baba today and bring him into what I'm doing. And it has been so inspiring. I mean, because I have kind of a front row seat. I get to see all this love that people put into their lives for Baba. And Baba, behind the veil is the one who's inspiring us to do this. That's a little bit more unseen. It seems like maybe we're doing it from our side, but he's in there behind pulling the strings. But so anyway, Jacima, can you bring that up? And and I was thinking, is Rainey around yet?
Yes, Jeff.
Hey, are you able to read that? What Jacima has brought up?
Yes, okay.
Yeah, because I would be, like I said, very interested in how different people, access that inner vitality and inspiration and enthusiasm. Kitty was very big on enthusiasm, and not only that, she was an embodiment of enthusiasm, and that's, you know, to get through these times, enthusiasm can definitely help. Okay, go for it, Rainey.
Accessing our inner vitality through Baba. One of the greatest challenges facing all of us today is accessing the vitality and enthusiasm to carry out what we have to do in this life. As a result of this pandemic and its disruption in our lives, many of us are turning to Baba more deeply for inspiration and adopting daily practices that open us up to our inner resources. There are many approaches to accessing our inner vitality through Baba. In one approach, Baba has said, before beginning anything, the aspirant thinks that it is not he who is doing it, but the master who is getting it done through him. After doing it, he does not tarry to claim the results of action or enjoy them, but becomes free of them by offering them to the master. By training his mind in the spirit, he succeeds in creating a new ego, which, though provisional and working, is amply able to become a source of that confidence, feeling, enthusiasm, and go, which true action must express. Baba has also said, modern psychology has done much to reveal the source of conflict, but it has yet to discover the methods of awakening inspiration or supplying the mind with something that makes life worth living. The most important requirement for the satisfactory resolution of conflict is motive power or inspiration, which can only come from a burning longing for some comprehensive ideal. Analysis in itself may aid choice, but the choice will remain a barren and ineffective intellectual preference unless it is vitalized by zeal for some ideal, appealing to the deepest and most significant strata of human personality. In highlighting this proactive approach, Baba has said, a new line in the divine picture is sketched only when some individual takes life forcefully in his hands, breaks up the old patterns, and insists on creating something new by his own inner vision. Ongoing work in our ideals, which over time may have lost some of their dynamic effect in our lives, requires that we sometimes revisit and redefine those ideals in order to meet our present circumstances. What methods or practices have you discovered that reignite your inner vitality? There are other invaluable ways of accessing our inner vitality with Baba. Among them might be repeating Baba's name and saying the prayers, the determination to please Baba in all that we do, which taps into his unlimited vitality. Darwin Shaw's practice of focusing on our flowing invisible current, the practice that Baba spoke of, dress your soul with Baba. Overcoming worry, which Baba said is one of the greatest drains on our psychic energy. In his love, Jeff.
Okay. Anyone, one thing, Rainey, if you have any quotes from Francis, because he's, so much into inspiration and creativity, things that you find in the course of this, it would be great to hear. Anyone want to venture out into the open sea?
I'll venture out.
Oh, good.
Yeah, it was kind of pretty simple. I have felt in general the last 2 years, because I haven't been working because of the pandemic, I feel a lack of inspiration. But that being said, my inspiration completely almost comes from this group, from Baba Zoom, from all of you guys. I have an inspiration that I've never felt in my life with Baba and all of you. And it's unexplainable. Only God could do this. So my inspiration comes from all of you, from Jeff, big time, and from Baba Zoom, Angela, all of you. I mean, all of you. I feel like I know all of you, and I haven't even met most of you. So, my inspiration comes from my Baba family and all of you. So caring, so loving, so supportive. I mean, just so much support and love and a lot of inspiration. So that's my inspiration. Thank you.
Beautifully said. And I think we all agree with you. We're we're benefiting from how genuinely people speak from their heart and everything. And as I've said before, when Erich was asked, is Baba going to become a religion? Erich said Baba was adamant that it not become a religion. And he was asking, how can this be kept from becoming a religion? And Erich said, if his lovers would get together in small groups and share their mystical experiences, meaning that was in 1970, but he would have said, sharing our inner experiences with Baba, we can have. They won't be able to make a religion out of it, because everybody's approach is so uniquely different. But anyway, so that was beautiful, Marta. Anyone else? There are a lot of beautiful practices that people do. I mean, even art and singing and everything that keep that abiding, inspiration and enthusiasm happening. Anyone else?
Cliff has his hand up.
Oh, good. Who's that? Jay Seema?
Cliff, Jai Baba Cliff.
Cliff, you're singled out there by the universe.
All right, Jai Baba.
Jai Baba.
So there's lots of stuff. Every day is a different day, but sometimes if I'm not feeling inspired, I do my entrusting my day to Baba, but I just try to shake it off as quickly as possible and get feeling positive. And one thing that I found works is what Henrique Saudi was giving a talk once. He was talking about, I wake up and I feel horrible, but I go down the stairs and I get in front of the mirror and I say to Baba, I'm happy in your love, Baba, and try to smile and to be there, spend some time. And it's amazing how sometimes a mirror, like if you have that sour face and you're not feeling that into it, you look at the mirror and you smile and you just decide to smile and, try to get going, get something positive going. And just a simple thing like that, along with the things that you listed in the email, Jeff. Those are really good. So I just find that to work sometimes for me.
Yeah. Well, Cliff, you always keep your spirits up when I see you.
Well, I always try to do my best, but it's, some days are a lot harder than others. And,
Yeah.
something like a little smiling, I saw a laugh. I was with Tony Paterniti once. He took me, he's right there, Tony, hi Tony, to the Laughing Yogi. Have folks seen that? This was at Genzel's church, this jazz church in Manhattan that was at the City Corps building. And he was a yogi sitting there and he laughs. It's a type of yoga. Tony knows more about it, but I try to laugh sometimes, kind of force myself to laugh while I'm driving, things like that.
Good. Yeah.
Yeah.
That'll loosen up the sanskaras.
There you go.
Next, Dan, Terry.
Well, Jay Baba, and it's good to see you all. We're
I thought
away.
you were on vacation, you too.
We are on vacation, but we got back to the room a little early. We're not ready to go to sleep, and we
Good.
wanted to be with y'all. We were
Good.
missing you. I think, Marta was saying, the bizarreness of loving so deeply. We were talking to our friends who we're traveling with, how much that the intimacy that we have shared as a group with each other is profound. I mean, a lot of people don't even share it when they're in the same family with each other, blood family. And here we are in this Zoom Baba family, being authentic and loving and kind. I mean, I will thank the pandemic for this peace for the rest of my life, because this has been just so amazing to me. And it feels as though it's the background of my life with Diane now is all of you just cheering us on with Baba. I feel, I can't explain it. It's the most amazing feeling that I've ever had in my life. And your family loves you, but this is so unconditional. That's how it feels. It feels like how I love my kid. It feels like that's what I feel from you all. And I used to go to therapy and say to my therapist, I know people love me, but when will I feel it? Well, I'm feeling it big time.
Beautiful.
So
yeah.
That's where I'm at. Thank you.
Yeah. And the beautiful thing is that you don't have to get here. You don't have to give the edited version of yourself. You know, which you have to do often in the world. You can't, you know, they'll think you're crazy if you say what you're up to. You know, most will. Yeah. Okay.
We have Varian. Jai Baba.
Jai Baba, thank you so much, Jeff and everyone. It would take hours to address each line of the the prompt at the beginning. So I'm just going to share something that delights me, and it's not to teach anybody anything, but to share, because I agree with others. This process of being on these Zoom calls and sharing has just really been Baba's grace for me. So I tend to, and as Baba said I think the discourses are somewhere, you don't have to go into all of your past lives to look at your patterns. You can just use this life. And I do, even though I've had some past lives revealed to me, I mainly use this life and say that, and to others also, like the early childhood experience remains a gateway. Not something to fall into, to drop into and wallow around in, but a gateway for transformation one's whole life. So I use it as a tool of everything I've learned about myself. And I come from a very hardworking Midwestern family. And so I've always been a hard worker. And for me, my challenge is to have some fun and to be in the moment, and not keep thinking of the next chore, the dusting or the vacuuming or something, the grocery shopping that I have to do. So I do have a practice of where I have a daily, my to-do list, things I need to do during the day and go to the bank and whatever. And then across the top of it, I have my toolbox, because my toolbox has things like my prayer, my meditations, my mirror exercises where I say, I love you, and just different things. But it also has certain breathing exercises that reduce anxiety, because I get anxious. And then I have some things to have fun. And I do have to sometimes schedule them in, because I have to break that pattern of that hardworking person and getting all my chores done. So I keep, for years, I keep a yo-yo in my pocket, in my bag, and I'm really good at the yo-yo, and I've been doing it since I've been a kid and taught all my grandkids how to throw a yo-yo. So that's a vital piece for me, because when I'm throwing the yo-yo, I've got to watch it. I can't be off worrying about stuff or it'll hit me in the head. So I've got to watch it. And then often in the nice weather, I take a nice bouncy ball with me. And when I'm in the park, I bounce a ball along the walk, because I can't be worrying or thinking about all these chores I have to do if I'm bouncing a ball. I got to pay attention. And so I have some of those things. And then if I'm in the park in the nice weather, I might throw it around. And if I'm not with a friend, and to play catch. So I have those things that I know are important for me. And I play the harmonica. So harmonica, along with my yo-yo, goes with me. And even though I study with a harmonica master, I was taught just go out and blow a tune. So one of my favorite ones is Begin the Begin. And if I hit a wrong note, and nobody cares, and I don't care, and I just blow. And so I have what I call my toolbox, because I have to have those, or I would just be having nose to the grindstone, trying to be the good girl all day. So that's something that I do for myself. Thank you.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, and you're woven Baba into all of that beautifully. Yeah.
Next, we have Meher. Jai Baba, Meher.
Okay, Baba. First, when this had started, I was thinking, what's the idea of this happening? It's like a mini war to this thing. Like I was saying, oh God, I'm in India and my brother's in Canada. I said, it's very this thing. Otherwise, every year I'll see him. And when am I going to see him? And then when Zoom started, I said, oh, wow, at least I can keep in contact with him on Zoom and everything. And I started seeing Baba, Baba Zoom every day. And so much had opened up from which was depressing, and everything had come in my mind, had really opened up, and I was so happy. And now I really feel the love of friends from everywhere in the world is so nice. It really is something Baba has taken such care for me and has done so many nice things. I really wish and I pray that this goes on and on and on and never has to stop. This Baba Zoom is really a lovely thing, this thing. But I hope that one day we can go abroad and meet our family, or they come and meet us in India, because we do miss our own families at times. Jai Baba.
Yeah, thank you, Meher. Beautiful. Anyone else? I just happened to think of one thing. I mean, there are a lot of different things that I do that keep Baba alive there. But one time, years ago, I was working. I was doing the windows at the original kitchen and the Lakeview kitchen, and there were about probably 27 or 8 windows all around the whole building. And then some of them are actually divided up into panes, and it's like a laborious thing, and you're spraying and you're going at one. Okay, window 27 is done. Now it's window 26, and now it's 25, and it could be tedious. And one day I was doing it, and this thought came into my head: is this entertaining to Baba? I mean, he has to watch me doing this. And I thought, no, I've got to do this in a way. He is stuck watching me do this. So I've got to do it in such a way that it's entertaining for him. I mean, if you imagine, a security guard in a shopping mall, he's got all of these televisions, all these consoles, and they're pointing out to all the different parking lots. And it's a pretty boring thing but if somebody started dancing out there in the parking lot, it would be entertaining to the guy. Well, I felt I got to do these windows in a way that's fun for Baba to watch. And then sometimes I'd get kids and we'd do it together, and we'd play around and do all sorts of things, and we'd go and have some treats or go for a ride on the golf cart. So anyway, that's just one way of getting some aliveness into something that could be pretty otherwise quite tedious, like a checklist thing. Well, I got this done, and now I got that done, and so that was one thing that I've forgotten about that I do. Anyone else?
We have Dinku. Jai Baba Dinku.
Oh, good.
Jai Baba.
Jai Baba Dinku.
Well, before this started, a couple of years before the pandemic were very hard on me in my personal life. And though Baba was there somewhere, I pushed him back in the background. He wasn't in the forefront. And I was depressed, sort of like a rudderless ship, not trying for what's the purpose of this life and stuff like that. And then the pandemic started. I was on my own here. I didn't have my family here. And I got this email out of the blue from Cyrus from the Bombay group about their sessions on from the Bombay Center, something like Baba Zoom. And I said, what the heck, let me join and just see. And I think that was Baba answering my prayers in a way, because that's how I got drawn in again. And I was totally absorbed with Baba. And through that group, then I got to know about Baba Zoom. And I've met all you wonderful people here on Baba Zoom, all, through the Bombay group too. And it's given me purpose and meaning in my life. And, Baba is forcefully back in my life again. And for that, I'm really, really thankful. Jai Baba.
Yeah, beautiful. Can anybody bring up, what do you do when you're really kind of flatlined. I mean, you're uninspired. You have no feeling for much. Oh, I mean, maybe Jake has something different to say, but just think about that. What when when you're kind of uninspired and no enthusiasm, what do you do to access? That's what I'd be interested in that. But let's go for Jake first there.
Yes,
Wanna
I can speak to
help?
what you're saying right away, and say that just the other day, I was in that very same space of being uninspired, flatlined, just very unpleasantly and unhappy. And I was with the kids in the living room, and they wanted to start tickling, and I allowed them to start tickling my armpits, and it was by far one of the greatest sensations of pleasure I've had in a long time, and it absolutely lit my heart on fire and reignited that passion within me. Even though at the time it felt like complete and absolute torture, the idea of opening my armpits up for full tickle pleasure to the kids, and it was a wonderful time, and it really helped shift my mood, and then help me bring me closer to my kids and whatnot, and kind of carried me off to the next layer. So if ever it's appropriate, by all means, open your arms up to be tickled by kids. Wonderful motivational moment for everybody.
Right. Those kids are great too. I think of them.
Yes, having great kids helps too.
Yeah. There's a line from Tagore, the Indian poet famous in Baba's time. Every child brings with it the message that God will never forsake mankind. Beautiful line. Well, we have a few artists here. They have to kind of drum up a little inspiration.
Rainy.
Well, I found a couple of things that I wasn't expecting to find. I'm surrounded this evening, as you can see, by my dear, darling friend of long ago, John Parry's paintings, who passed away a few hours ago.
Yeah.
And so I got out the newer industrialized thing with another of his drawings on the front. What greater honor can any enthusiastic, continuously enthusiastic, energized artist receive than to have his art on Stay with God and his art on Industrialized Seeing? So I opened the new book, which, as you know, with a new book, it's rather hard to open them. And what appeared? A guzzle I don't ever remember seeing, talking to Cliff, talking about laughter and unusual things from our resident Mandalay poet. Page 49. I was fishing in the deep pools where the big fish loiter, when the sun came over the hill and shone on the water. The awakened waters broke into smiles bright as lances, like the love-lorn cowgirls at Krishna's amorous glances. I threw down my rod on the best I had already feasted. I would go to God's table now, where the bread of love is tasted, where God himself fills everyone's cup to the brim with sweet wine, and the tales of lovers and heroes are told in measured line. A man is not meant to labor and eat and sleep alone, still less to wrangle with others like dogs over a bone. One may eat well alone or in company and still yet not dine, but one can banquet on bread when there is his song and wine. When the secrets of love the gifted singer explores, and the master of love and song leads the applause.
Beautiful. Read that last couplet.
When the secrets of love and the gifted singer explores, and the master of love and song leads the applause.
Beautiful.
But at the same time, something odd happened. Meher Baba addressed enthusiasm. Written by Meher Baba, and a piece of paper was found many years later in Khorshed's pocket, in a jacket she had given to a Westerner. So Adi translated Baba's poem from the Gujarati into English. And Baba said, when the enthusiasm of longing crosses the limit, his radiance to the eyesight will be revealed. Yes, when the enthusiasm of longing crosses the limit, his radiance to the eyesight will be revealed. What will I say, O heart, on losing the ego? What will you become? United with God you will be. Man to God you will become. Coming to me, the secret thing he whispered into my ears, that I would become yours when you would become mine.
Yeah. Is that the Ishtiyaki?
It's a poem
Yeah.
that Baba wrote and put on a piece of paper and Khorshed put in a pocket.
And that's probably from the 20s or 1921 or something, probably.
20s, yes. It's from the back in the 20s. Meher Baba gave Khorshed this ghazal he had composed. She wrote it down and put it in the pocket of a jacket he had given her. Baba had given her. She saved the jacket for many years. Then in 1973, gave it to his Western lovers. Only then did someone discover the ghazal in the pocket. And it's translated here from the Gujarati by Adi K. Irani.
Yeah, beautiful.
Wow. And it had the word enthusiasm, so I couldn't leave it out.
Yeah. Any one goer, one of the things that has been central in my life is when Baba said, dress your soul with Baba. I think some of you know that. But that spills over into the whole day. But it can. Anything you could say to that, goer?
Yeah, that's definite Jai Baba all.
Yeah.
It's so good to hear everyone's stories and how they delve into their enthusiasm. And yes, Jeff, as you say, I, for one, every morning I dress my soul. That's the first thing I do before I even get out of bed. And that way I know that whatever is going to happen that day comes from Baba and is all Baba. So whether that inspires me, whether that comforts me, whether that encourages me to do whatever I'm doing, it's all comes from Baba. So I'm rested in the assurance that Baba is with me the whole day. So he is my inspiration always. And when I find at times when I am, faced with a challenge, say, for instance, years ago when I think I've mentioned this before, something I'd never done. And to me, it was huge because I'm such a wallflower, if you will. I'm so introverted by nature. And when I was asked to speak publicly, that was like, oh my gosh, terrifying to say the least. But I didn't know what I was going to, well, I knew what I was going to say. It was my father's story, obviously, but how to go about it, to have the courage to stand on that stage and speak to an audience of over 200 or almost 300 people was daunting, to say the very least. So I just put it to Baba in the end, and I said, Baba, I'm just giving it to you, and it's you that will direct my hand in constructing what I have to say, and then you will just take over and do it. And believe you me, once I still had butterflies all up until the moment I stood on that stage. But in the end, when I began with leaving it to Baba and saying that initial prayer and asking for his help, it just flowed after that. He just took over. So he does that. That's all I have, that's all I can say, is that when you give it to him truly and honestly from the depths of your heart, he will definitely take you right through it without any problems. So
Yeah.
he's my inspiration always.
And one thing, if and you probably find this, that anyone that's dressing your soul with Baba, the beautiful thing is that after a while you can have that feeling of Baba there, that kind of glow at any time after doing it for years. And that's what Baba said, if you want to feel my companionship throughout the day, just do these 4 times, but eventually it fills in the whole day. If you just need to feel Baba, you can drop back into that.
Yeah.
And you say you dress your soul with Baba.
Yeah.
What do you do specifically?
Well, this is my prayer in the morning. Baba, I entrust my every thought, word, and deed to you. And at night, before I lay my head back down on the pillow, Baba, I submit my every thought, word, and deed to you. So that way, he's with you the whole day, and whatever you've done, he has done through you. He's taken over, he has done it through you. So you don't have to worry about it. It's I can't explain it. It's so liberating to know that because you've given your everything to Baba and he's in control, you don't have to worry about it then. You just go ahead and live your life as best you can, as honestly as you can, and as, doing whatever you do right from the heart. And it's he who takes over. He just does whatever you do, you then don't worry about it. You've given it to him. So your problem is, your part of it is done. You've just given it to him, and Baba takes over. So,
Oh,
yeah.
beautiful. And Tina was asking about what it means to dress your soul with Baba.
Mm-hmm.
You'll find a way that works for you, what that means to you, and it's well worth the effort and exploration, because it becomes richer and deepens, like wine, aged wine.
Pata.
Yes, Jeff, would you share, this is what I do in the morning, but I got it from you. Would you share that thing about, thank you, Baba, for this day. I give the day to you to live, or I say it my way, but you have a way of saying it. I think that's such a beautiful practice. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I know this goes back to the early 70s. I was staying at the back of the Gateway on a cot in the office, and Fred and Ella Winterfeld were in the house across the way, and they wanted somebody up there because Fred's health was ailing. He was ailing. Anyway, I woke up one morning and Baba flashed to me as I was waking up. He said, "You can live a good life, but does the world need another good life? Let me live your life." And I thought that my life was kind of available to him, but I realized that he had to get my permission for him to live my life. So after that, when I would wake up, I say, Baba, you live this day for me. You go into the center, you embrace people, you interact with them, you clean cabins. You know, I have a whole thing like that. You look on them as you in disguise. You know, I have a kind of a little homemade, homespun prayer in the morning. But I don't know if that was what you were talking about, Marta, but it's kind of what Goer's saying. Baba, you live, for a long time I used to say, Baba, you live this day for me. Then I thought, why don't we just get rid of the me? You live the day, not for me. You know, you just live it. And I feel Baba, it's not like I'm living a perfect life, but I do feel Baba takes me up on it. Because various times in the day I can feel that the moments are much larger than they were when I was living my life. There's more love and spaciousness than when it was just me going out there slogging through the day. I don't know, is that
Yeah,
what
that's beautiful. Yeah. And I started doing it. You know, my little prayer is, thank you, Baba, for another day of new life. May it be spent and devoted to you. And may I give the day to you to live with your love and light. Then I put my hand in his hand and I say, okay, I'm not leading you, I'm following you. Let me know what you want me to do.
Yep, beautiful.
That's kind of how I start the day. And I got that from you and I really like it.
It's amazing when you think about it. I mean, after 40 or 50 years, you wake up and you're still doing those types of things, Marta. I mean, it's just, it's so touching. You know, nobody's taking a vacation. No one even wants to take a vacation from this.
I
Okay.
thought you might be putting on some like imaginary clothes.
That you can, yeah, I think of it putting on a warm down jacket or something in a cold winter. However you want to, however dressing your soul resonates with you.
Jeff, can I just add a little something?
Yeah.
So, you know, when you start this practice of thinking of him in the morning and then at 12 o'clock and then again at 5 o'clock and at night or whatever, and of course during the day as many times, you start out by doing that so that's your effort that you put into starting out that way. But now after all these years, it's come to a point where sometimes I'll be a little distracted in doing something and all of a sudden I'll look at my watch and it's 5 o'clock in the evening or it's 12 o'clock right at that exact second. And it's as if Baba is telling me, look, I'm thinking about you. So look, it's 5 o'clock or it's 12 o'clock. So all of a sudden, my attention will be drawn to my watch and sure enough, it's 5 o'clock or 12 o'clock. And so it's like Baba telling me, see, I'm here with you. So
yeah,
so it's sort of
you'll find
to that. Yeah.
Yeah, he reminds you.
Exactly.
Or you drop something on the floor and then you look at the time, well, it's 12 o'clock.
Automatically, right.
Yeah.
So see, I'm here with you. So it is just so reassuring. So
could I share something?
Go ahead.
Okay. Well, there's a couple of things, you know, the things that I do, if I do them every day, they stop losing the potency. I have to switch things up. This is just Baba and I. So I always wake up in the morning and the first thing I say is, good morning, Baba. That's my first thought and the first thing out of my mouth. And I really love the thing that Darwin shared about the train going out of the station and you were just swept along before you even had an opportunity to say, Baba, take the day, or Baba, I'm with you in the day. Baba, it's your day. Before you have a chance to say anything, the mind is already going down the track and enumerating the bank and the different chores that you want to do or it's all about your own self. So finding a way to, pull the train back or to think about that before your mind takes off. And I found that to be really helpful. But I think probably the thing that is most heartfelt for me, the thing that really connects for me, is I need to get on my knees. When I get out of the bed, if the first thing I do is get on my knees, put my head down and bow and say, your will today, Baba, it's your will today. Please just help me to have your will be the thing that leads the day. Those are going to be the best days for me. Those are going to be the days that are filled with new thoughts and nuances and enthusiasm. I'm not sure what that's about, but that's the truth for me. I find that obviously music is one of the things that helps me when I flatline. If I can find that song that is the thing that really speaks, then I can sit down with that and just spend time with the music and the lyrics and the rhythm and Baba. I find that singing alone is my best music because it's just the two of us, so to speak, just the two of us.
Yeah.
That song just came to my mind, just
Yeah.
the two of us. Yeah, it's about that's. Thank you. Yeah, and that's how it is, I mean, I love singing. Well, I don't love singing on Zoom, but I'll do it, I don't know what I sound like, but I know that when it's just Baba and I sound fabulous and fantastic, and
Well.
he takes it all in. Another thing that I just realized, she's laughing, but it's true. The other thing that I realized is that another thing that helps me with enthusiasm sometimes is visualization. And so sometimes I visualize like someone said, take my hand. I visualize Baba and I, and it may be, I've had the vision of it being Baba and I as a small child holding my hand, and there's Baba and I, and we're kind of swinging hands as we're walking. And then on the other side is the crone, is the older woman. And there's just a grace, and Baba's holding my hand as the older woman as we walk with grace. So there are things like that that help infuse enthusiasm into my day with Baba. But those flatline days, I'm kind of with Tony on that. I really think if you got it and you're living it, well, then just ride it out, because I've never had Baba let me down. I can flatline, but he always tends to bring me back alive. Here comes the shock and I'm back. So I just have to wait, And then one last thing is, someone sent me this a while ago. It says, each moment of existence has been perfect in order to wake you up to being one with your beloved. So why worry about today or tomorrow? They too shall be perfect as they are given, divinely given by beloved Baba to awaken you to his love. Find peace if you can for a bit today and when thinking about the future.
Who was that? Who?
Do I have to say? I feel bad just telling who it was.
Well, we won't force you, but it's beautiful.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So and of course that, I keep it handy. And yeah, I guess just realizing that in fact, each moment has been created for me to wake up.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, and use your thinking to discover why this moment is perfect rather than why this moment isn't perfect and it should be better, you know.
Yeah.
But you know, one thing that Eric used to say, when you bow down,
Yeah.
your head is below your heart. You know, your head is below your heart,
Hmm.
as it should be, you know.
And that may be why, yeah, that may be why getting on my knees is the best thing for me.
But
So
that was
anyway, that's
beautiful, Ruthie. Wonderful to hear
yeah.
your intimate life with Baba there.
The other thing too, just in terms of paint, because you were talking about painting and artists, but just getting some paint out and just taking a brush of it across the page and looking at it, and maybe getting another color or mixing some colors and putting them. It's just astounding that when you get done and you know, I mean, just simple things, and you put them up and you come back, it's like they've changed. They have a life. They've like developed something you didn't put there. Like, oh my God, there's a face in there. I didn't do that. You know, I mean, it's just beautiful. And when painting Baba, as you move along, I mean, he just comes alive. He just comes alive in the painting of him or the sketch of him. So it's so worthwhile taking that time as meditation. I'll shut up. Thanks.
Yeah, no, wonderful. Yeah.
You have Meher again. Baba Meher.
Jai Baba.
Jai Baba, yeah.
When I had started seeing Baba programs and stuff, one day I was just talking to a few of my friends, and I said that about Baba programs, because when they say, why do you see Baba programs? What is it? I said, it just keeps my mind this thing in my, I feel a little bit of, I feel like, you know, like I'm in peace of mind, I tell them. So then they tell me, who is he? Why are you seeing all this? I said, it's just in my mind. Everybody has their own ways of seeing God in their own idea. So one of my friends said, I just said, okay, you may not want to see it, but I am seeing it. So why are you trying to stop me from not enjoying my life? And then I just said to them that if you have all these problems in your mind, why don't you, with the love of God, my Meher Baba, why don't you join me in Meherabad once and see the difference what this is? No, this is not what you should be doing. So then I said, too bad, I'm going to stick to my Meher Baba and enjoy my life with Meher Baba, what he wants me to do. Because I feel Baba is teaching us what we should do in life and helps us a lot. This is my great opinion.
Beautiful. Amen. That was great, Meher.
Patty. Jai Baba.
Jai Baba, everyone. I tuned in a little later, but I had read Jeff's email and thought this would be a wonderful opportunity to learn a little bit and disclose a little bit. I love hearing the stories, and it's wonderful to recognize that this connection through Zoom and through our time together has really opened the avenues of awakening to all of us to see Baba and to feel Baba and to bring Baba more forthright with vitality into our lives. And you know, I'm employing pretty much a lot of what people are saying, dressing my soul in Baba. I tell him I love him when I wake up, and I ask that he indeed, I entrust all my words and deeds and thoughts to him. And your wish, your will, I chant, you know, I sit in meditation. I try and keep his name in my heart and on my lips. And with all that, I have to admit that it's been through effort and grace. It's been through Zoom. It's been the last few years that it has intensified for me. I can't say I've had 50 years with Baba, but I can't say that I've been doing this for 50 years. He's been drawing my attention to him rather than me beckoning his attention, or at least recognizing that he's there. And it is easier for me to do that when things are going well, interestingly enough. And there have been several little things that have happened recently that have, would not look good to the mind or to tell a story about. And so then I am employing my remembrances for Baba, and yet I find halfway through the day that I've taken back the worry, and I catch it because he reminds me that I've taken it back, which is great. So then I have to entrust again my words and deeds and thoughts to him. And I do have tactics of things pop up on the screen if I'm on a device, and I will follow that as a train into Baba. And these are all things, either they're archived oral histories or, past Zoom things or effort and grace or anything about Baba. I do watch, and I find that just like Mayor Davila, that I enjoy so much the presence of the remembrance of Baba. And I feel like he's just right with me. I feel like everybody's with me when I'm doing that. Not just Baba, but all of you, and everything is happening, and that I'm at the center, or I'm at Mirabat, or I'm in Mandali Hall, or I'm in the Samadhi. And those moments bring me to the acceptance and realization of his presence, and with more vitality. I mean, I'm moved by it because there's some things happening that are difficult, and it's so fabulous to have such a strong, palpable beloved in my life and in our lives, and that he comes so we can have it, that he manifests in the human form so we can know that he was here for us. I mean, it's such an incredible gift, and it's so touching. And if that doesn't wake us up, I can't imagine what else will. And all the things that do happen throughout the day, honest to God could only do it. Only God could remind you in your own individual ways when it's 5 o'clock or when it's noon, and it's inevitable that happens for me right now. And the more conflicted it gets in whatever this particular little path I'm on right now, and no matter how much I'm trying to control the outcome, he's actually almost got my hands tied right now. And it's really a task to stay in that surrendered your wish, your will. And so I do say your wish, your will a lot, because just to remind me that it's not me again. But I mean, I do take it back, give it back, take it back. It's a ping pong kind of a thing right now, but at least the Lord loved ping pong. So anyway, Jai Baba to you all, you guys.
Beautiful. Yeah.
Love you. Yeah.
Tony. Tony.
Hi. Yeah. Can you hear me? Yes.
Yep.
So a couple of things, few things. One is I talked to Baba, I talk to Baba. So if I'm not feeling right, I definitely make a certain amount of dedicated time to sit and talk with Baba one way or the other. But I will always, at any time, I will ask, what's going on? Why am I feeling this way? What am I upset about? What's dragging me down? What's going on? And Baba is usually pretty good about, always good with alerting me to at least the next thing to see about what's happening. Also, Baba's presence, I kind of always, I don't always feel the love, but I always feel Baba's, I think it's fair to say, since January 31st, 1969, before I even heard of him, I always feel his presence. Today, I had to sit with Elena for a while Zeke was doing something else, and I do some readings from different Baba books. And so I just took the books with me. One of them was the Blue Bus book. And I had some music on that I knew Elena would like. And I got to the next line, probably where I was going to stop. And it said, and they all celebrated Christmas that day. And at that moment, Greensleeves came on my sound system. It's not quite Begin the Begin, but it was definitely Baba just showing that he was orchestrating the read. But I'm also, I usually share pretty openly here. Something Patty alluded to is what I've been grappling with as I've been listening tonight. Something that's, I don't know what exactly it is, but something that's either too dark or too difficult or too personal, but something not appropriate to share here. And on the other hand, and I've got something like that going on. On the other hand, I want to be very mischievous. I love this group and it's been wonderful experience being here. But I did want to be mischievous and say that this group has made my life a living hell. because you may remember at some point we were, whatever issue we were going over, there were a lot of revelations and a lot of beautiful shares. And then Rainey shared something about throwing perfectionism in the Dooney. And it was a breakthrough for me. And she had also thrown in worry. Well, the next time I sat alone with Baba, I threw perfectionism in the Dooney. It seemed to fit what was going on. And then I threw in, and then the next day I was like, my head was so full of stuff. And I said, worry. I threw worry in the Dooney. And basically I got drunk with throwing things in the Dooney. And it's a very dangerous thing to do. And I threw fear. I threw fear in the Dooney. I told Zeke, my wife, and she said, you were a very brave man. But I wasn't feeling brave. I was feeling the enthusiasm and the rush of Baba in me. And oh my God, the response to that, what I learned is you can't just throw, there is no just fear. There's fear of this, fear connected with that, and Baba took me through, I guess the first thing was I did a share here where I mentioned my father dying when I was 9, and I'm very open here, but and I feel good after I share here because I let Baba speak through me. But after that one, I felt really uncomfortable, and I felt what other people might feel and why they don't share as openly, because I could be really revealing stuff about myself that somebody could use against me or to hurt me. And I didn't connect it with the Dooney. But then I wound up having bloody urine for 18 hours. And I just figured it was an interaction between a drug and a supplement, and I stopped and it did go away. But I was afraid of dying, and I never thought I had fear of death. And early the next morning, while I was still having the bleeding was still going on, I had a dream image, not the whole dream, but just an image of me smiling and really happy with a kid's birthday cap on, and my wife and another friend behind me, and we're all celebrating, and I'm really happy. And I had the thought from Baba that death is just a different kind of birth, and when it comes, you'll be celebrating. But for the fear, there were so many different things. There was a snowstorm and someone came to shovel around our house. It's a big job and we pay someone to do it. And things went south, and he was threatening us for about an hour. At one point, we called 911. At one point, he lifted up a hammer to smash me in the head with, threatened to smash the door and or my head. And when the police finally came and it was settled and he left, I had this awareness, and I was in real fear. I recorded the incident, and I could hear the fear in my voice that I'd never heard before. And what I was aware of is that many of us, certainly me, had been walking around with this level of fear unconsciously for forever, apparently. And as a result of this incident, I felt it had been lifted, and I started laughing. I was smiling. I was very happy about it. But there were other things. Someone sent me a message on Facebook and personally, and it triggered my fear that another Anna Rosa might come into my life. These are dark, secret fears I didn't even know I had. Anyway, there was more. And then I threw some other things that were nice. I threw in my insecurity and self-doubt about my art, my music, my creativity. And I got some wonderful comments from people who I highly respected about my poetry, about my music. One saying, "You're the greatest poet I've ever known." And, so that it did have the other side. But I reached but the last thing was I was so aware that I have had an investment in the experience of loss. And I was just going to talk this over with Baba, because I was really becoming exhausted with the Duni. But then talking with Baba, I just felt the impulse, oh, right. And I threw that in the Duni also, this investment in loss. And my daughter cut me out of her life, basically. So right now, I'm not feeling happy. I'm not feeling the love. I'm conscious of Baba's presence. I'm aware of Baba's love, but I'm having to talk to him about it all the time and work through it, and maybe convince me not to be so foolhardy as to throw things in the Duni like that. Except I know he wanted me to do that. I mean, I really felt the impulse at the time was coming from that, not even the perfectionism, which I began to feel didn't fit me. What it released was a false perfectionism, and it brought up the idea of perfecting oneself, like by clearing things like fear and worry. But anyway, I'm exhausted. I don't know that I'm feeling down, but I'm feeling stressed and pain and sadness sometimes, loss. The loss has not completely worked itself out. But Baba is Baba. Baba is always here. Baba will always be here. Baba's love is so exquisite. It's so intimate. It's so personal. It's so unvarying. And I know this from so much experience that I'm simply kind of holding on with both hands until this gives way to whatever's, to this gives way. At some point, I remember Ken Moore saying, always remember and never forget this definition that Baba gave of your life in the material world. Everything has a beginning that has a beginning, has an end. There's a beginning of pleasure, there's an end of pleasure. There's a beginning of pain, suffering, there's an end of suffering. Nothing but God lasts forever. So anyway, how I'm remembering it, Baba, at times like this, I'm not quite sure, but I am. I'm not able to recapture the energy I like to share in this group, but this is what I have. So, and this is what's real right now. So I hope it's all right and acceptable, and thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Tony. Wow. And
Tony, can we go back to base camp 1 then now?
What's that?
Don't mess with the duty, young woman.
Don't mess with the door. That was always my.
That was my rule. Remember?
No, that was my. I did mention. I don't think you were here last week. I think that I'd been to India a bunch of times with the society, and there was always Amartithi, so there was always a Duni, and I was respectful enough, fearful enough of the Duni, that I would just throw it in, take Baba's name, and say, "You pick it. I trust that you won't really messed me up. And after I left that group, I happened to be in India on Dooney Day one year at the Samadhi, and Mansari came over and plopped 7 Dooney chips in my hand. And it was clear that Baba wanted me to throw 7 things in the Dooney, and I had to figure out what they were. And it was only a week or so ago. It seemed an odd thing, and each one is an interesting story. But why 7 chips? And I realized for 7 years, I had gone and thrown the chip in the Dooney without naming it. So now Baba was giving me through Mansari 7 chips, and this time was saying, name them and throw them in. So no, I have great respect for the Dooney, but Baba I felt was really impelling this. So
I have to say that your enthusiasm ignites everybody. And so I would just throw all this self-reproachment in the Dooney. No, I wouldn't. I would just say, I'm going to forget about that now because I'm an enthusiastic bloke and I inspire a lot of people.
I'm not feeling self-reproachful, I don't think.
Oh, good. Okay.
Yeah, no, I don't think I am. I'm just feeling really weary and tired and a bit overwhelmed.
We'll take 2 naps
Well,
then.
Take 2?
Take 2 naps a day.
When it comes to Myrtle Beach, we're going to throw him in the Dooney.
Throw him in the
Okay. So, Jessica.
Yeah, Mona.
Hi, I wanted to say something to Tony. Tony, I remember seeing you at MPR during Amar Tithi, and you played the most beautiful music for all of us. It was so heart and soul warming. And I think maybe last month I was on a Zoom call. I think you were having a chat for kids. I think it was something, and you did the most beautiful share out there where you guided us and spoke about how you connect with Baba and how you say the prayer like you solely. I've never seen anyone do that. It was so amazing to see you really just close your eyes and connect with him and do the prayer. I could just feel it. And also you shared this process that you do of surrendering everything to him, and you guided us through it that day, and I did that few times after that, and it was so beautiful. Even now, like while you were talking, I had some kind of physical pain, and I was going through something emotionally, and I just gave it all to him, and I feel so much more lighter. It's just you have some really great tools, and you're so much in love and connected with Baba that you share it with all of us, and his love is so contagious. I know we all go through ups and downs in our lives and highs and lows, and he's there for all of us, holding our hands. And you've been so instrumental in inspiring so many of us. You have some really good kitties in your too. Thank you, and lots of love.
Thank you.
Hey, before we go, Ruthie, have you got a song that you can play? I mean, at the end, is there one that comes to you?
Sure, I can do that, Jeff.
Do you have any of those Daryl Smith songs?
Yeah, I was thinking of a Daryl song. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Anyway.
I've got my guitar.
Anyone else? I can see. Kind of. There is one thing, although maybe I'll just say it briefly. One of the things that Darwin Shaw said about this inner current, this inner invisible current. I'm not going to go into it kind of fully, but Darwin used to say there is an invisible current in everyone, but that current for most people is going toward this way, I, me, and mine. And that current needs to be reversed So we flow out to life and we flow into Baba. And it's something that is tangible. I mean, it's at the heart level. And it's possible to work with that so that we don't just get stalled or current, like, say I might wake up in the morning and I can tell that my current is a bit stalled and so with Baba's name and everything, I get that current going so that by the time I go into work at 8:30, that current is what can I say, inspiring my day, rather than just kind of let it, just being kind of a passive, a victim of a stalled current. So that's I won't go into that now, but it's been an invaluable practice in my life. And, and what can get that current going? Besides Baba's name or playing with kids or playing volleyball, it's keeping an eye on that inner current so that it doesn't just stall out. When that current is flowing in me, then I don't know. Well, when it stalls out, as it does sometimes in the afternoon, I'm gonna say I don't. Baba seems to be at a distance when the current slows down. I don't quite know what to do. My mind comes down and gives me some options, none of which are worth following. And the day becomes ordinary. But when that flow begins, I don't have to ask where Baba is. Baba is the flow. And I don't have to ask what to do because the flow leads me what to do next. And the day, instead of just being kind of dull colors, it gets a vibrancy and a timelessness to it when that flow is happening. So it's a proactive approach to our inner life that is right there. And anyway, sometime I'll go into it. But that's almost the same, similar to the practice of dressing your soul with Baba. This is another aspect of that. But you can become aware. And what you don't flow out toward, you diminish yourself by that much. If you don't flow out to children, then you're cutting yourself off from the child in yourself. If you don't flow out to politicians, well, no. No, anything you don't flow out to, you diminish yourself. And you lose some of your expansiveness. But anyway.
Hey, Jeff, I'd like to share.
Yeah.
A couple of things that helped me in my daily life with Baba are music, really, like any kind of music, especially like Baba music and any like songs of love in life that helps me. My dog helps me. Rumi definitely helps me with this unconditional love.
And not only that, Peter, but you play music too, besides
yes. And that helps me tremendously. Even just improvising, that helps me a lot. Even just like playing alone, even just helps me. Imagining Baba there helps me, or like Mara there, who I met, helps me. And then like also like watching Baba films, like even on YouTube, helped me a lot. And I would say other Baba people, just talking about Baba, sharing daily lives and experiences with about Baba, that helped me a lot. And I would say humor helps me too. That's a big thing. So those are a couple of the things that help me.
You said humor?
Yeah, humor. It's good. Or life without jokes and humor would be boring.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
No, wonderful. And you stay in touch with so many people, and that is always a source of aliveness. Yeah.
Yes. Thank you. Yes.
So anyway, we're getting kind of Jake, anything else that occurs to you? I'm just, I don't want to put you on the spot, but anything?
Uh, no, I mean, I think it's all been really well covered. There's nothing more that I would do differently than what's been mentioned.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, beautiful. Let's see, did we miss anybody here? We could, I don't know if we can get some of these people out of the, out of their, out from behind their nameplates.
Threaten to tickle their armpits.
Sonnebear. Let's see if see if we can get one little thing out of Sonnebear. So,
Hi, Jeff.
oh, yeah.
I'm standing up on a ladder cleaning the cobwebs from my parents' room. So I've got the phone in my fanny pack and listening to you guys.
Uh-huh. Is there one little thing that you do that kind of enlivens your day with Baba?
Actually, I'm not in a good place right now, so I didn't want to say anything. But a daily reminder, this Zoom call helps a lot.
Yeah.
I wake up a little early just so I can, join and listen in. And that lifts my spirits. Kind of like adding fuel in the tank to get through the day. So that's one of my big things now.
Yeah. Yeah, we're all junkies in that respect.
Yeah. And just being around people who love Baba too, that helps. And listening to Baba stories, listening to their personal stories of how Baba works in their lives, that's very inspiring for me.
Yeah.
And of course, I feel his presence. In fact, he makes himself felt in various ways. You'd be passing by, if I'm in a taxi and, watching the world go by, and then there'll be a restaurant or a shop named Baba, because it's very common here, but not even that common that you'd come across it all the time. It's infrequent enough to notice when when your eyes fall on them and you're receptive in that moment. So there's that.
Yeah, where life itself becomes a reminder in various ways. Yeah. Okay, well, let's, Ruthie, you up for after she plays, let's have a few moments of silence.
All right. Yeah, this song is written by Daryl Smith. It's called He is the King. He is the King, and I belong to Him. This world is His love is in everything. What more can I do but try to serve Him? What more can I give but all that I have? What more can I learn but He's all in all, for one and all. Meher Baba, He cares for me, that I may care for Him. He gives me love, that I may love Him. If I am hungry, I am fed. If I am weary, He gives me rest. If I am lonely, He's my friend, the only one. Meher Baba, what more need I? And yet these tears I weep, each passing joy, alas, is bittersweet. Each day I pray to love him more, each night more earnest than before. And though he waits so patiently, I'm never really free. For Meher Baba, this song is his. These notes belong to him. He gives the tune, and I must sing along if I am haunted by the sound of empty words spinning around. I know that this will go someday when his love is really found. Meher Baba, and if I am haunted by the sound of empty words spinning around, I know that this will go someday when his love is really found. Meher Baba, he is the king, and I belong to him.
Ah, beautiful. Wow. Jai Baba. Wow, thank you all for sharing how Baba shows up in your lives. Oh,
That you had something to tell. Have your hand up.
oh, she's just waving hello. Any thing that anybody, any residue, any leftovers? Rainey, you got a little something there? Whoop, we can't hear you.
Just nice to be with family on a sad night. I don't have to be sad.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, with John Perry. He's a long time, lovable Baba person, kind of eccentric
Enthusiasm incarnate.
artist. Huh?
Enthusiasm incarnate.
Yeah, he was.
You couldn't look at a piece of dust and it didn't become a painting. You couldn't do anything.
Yeah.
It become a painting.
Anything? Well, this is, so like I say, just remember that Baba's birthday is next week, and we're gonna pass on having the late night chat and the effort and grace. Anybody coming to the center in the next stretch?
There's
From
a
here?
virtual program on the Sunday at the center. I know because I've been asked to be part of the arty aspect of it.
Oh, good, yeah. But,
I'll be visiting shortly.
oh, good.
Yes.
With the kids and your mom and dad, or?
No, actually, just by myself.
Oh, really? Okay, good.
Yes.
Good for
I've
you.
been given a wonderful gift.
You know, we went onto the center and there were no visitors. And I know this sounds really selfish, but that was great.
Yeah.
That was just so quiet and so, it was just you and him. You know, it's just magnificent. So just ready yourself for a lovely time where Baba just pops inside you and shows you what to do next.
And yet we got you, just as you were about to go out the door, we got a couple of hours of Rainy singing and reading Francis
Oh,
Byrne.
yes, that was so nice of you, Jeff. Thank you.
That
And
was,
for the young ones. And it was
they,
all young ones. It was just so extraordinary. Thank you.
yeah, thank you. Anything else? I hate to go, but you know.
Where's Nasreen? We can't go unless Nasreen shows
I know Nasreen, she just, you know, she went to the Sufi Tavern and we lost her.
Oh.
Okay, well. Avatar, Meher Baba.
Baba?
Baba Ki Jai.
Avatar.
Avatar, Meher Baba Ki Jai.
Avatar.
Meher Baba Ki Jai.
Baba.
And happy Baba birthday.
Jai Baba.
Oh, hey, wait 1 second. Rain, do you have that beautiful thing from Francis? Men are born and born again, something, but there's one who's never born and never dies, who comes. You know that one?
From the silent word.
And mirrored in the tears of his lovers.
Yeah, I got that.
This is a beautiful, Francis, you know, I mean, just being so close there, Baba, what he was writing about is so up close and intimate.
Tony, have I got to read the whole book before I
I think it's the beginning, right? The first
page,
chapter.
Tony?
I think it's page 1, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Men and born or
Okay.
die.
Yeah, I got it.
This is beautiful.
Okay. Men are born and die and are reborn until they die into the deathless and are never born again. But one man, being birthless and deathless, takes birth again and again because of the cry of the world for relief from the burden of living, and to mirror himself in the tears of his lovers.
Baba.
Beautiful. Nah, just read it once again with Baba's birthday coming up.
Men are born and die and are reborn until they die into the deathless and are never born again. But one man, being birthless and deathless, takes birth again and again because of the cry of the world for relief from the burden of living, and to mirror himself and to mirror himself in the tears of his lovers.
Wow.
Sublime.
Oh,
Beautiful.
it's even signed, Tony. Thank you for having me pull it out.
Wow. No.
I would not have thought this was that early. There you go.
Yeah.
Boy. No. What?
Annie, that was beautiful how you read. It's just, oh my God, you make those words come alive. Just beautiful. Thank you so
Yeah.
much. God.
Well, it was a little teary. I'm sorry, but with
I got teary because you got teary.
last night for John Borthwick and then John Parry dying today. It's perfect. I'm actually going to leave it open on my special place. Thank you.
Okay, everybody.
Hey, Baba, everybody.
Hey, Baba.
Hey, Baba.
Have a
Thank you,
lovely
Jeff. Thank
birthday.
you, everyone.
Happy Baba's birthday, everyone.
Yeah.
Baba's
Oh,
birthday.
yeah. Say Baba.
Happy birthday.